So this is a old video I used to do called What Would They Think, where I basically take like two different characters, and not so much what would it be like if they fought, but more like what would they think of each other. And as you can see from the title, what would Fabius Bile think of Mr. Sinister? Both of them excellent cloners, both evil geniuses with egos the size of Mount Everest, and that's putting it lightly. So what would it be like if these two characters like actually met? Like, what if they actually encountered one another, and what would they think of each other? So yeah, let's get into it. Now, honestly, Fabius and Sinister are kind of cut from the same cloth, technically speaking. They both wish to strive for, a better form of evolution and also creating a better life form from it. Although Sinister considers himself as the Sinister considers himself the best, the ultimate life form, kind of like a shadow complex in a way. Whereas Fabius is genuinely like, no, I seek to become I've seen gods before. I don't care what they are, and I say that that I'm gonna that life that was created was shoddy, so I'm gonna create a better life, and yeah. So the two of them, if they met, I'm sure like Sinister and Bile, the two of them would essentially just kind of be like, your work's shoddy. Like, I kind of imagine Sinister would be like, it's kind of fascinating, these new humans you're creating. Oh, they're adorable. They're so, and Fabius would be like, yeah, and what about your clones, your nasty boys, your all those clones that you made? You're only focusing on mutants and humans. That's so limited. You're not like broadening your horizon. Like what is that? Like you're only working on clones and trying to create a copy of a already perfected life form. What is that? Like, that doesn't, you're not even expanding your horizon. Whereas Bile would be like, you see, I, on the other hand, he'd be like, well, I, on the other hand, am like taking DNA and taking scraps from even the gods, these so-called gods themselves, and making something new for a better universe. And Sinister would be like, you're not making it well. I hope they're better for practicality than actual good to look at, because good God, are they ugly? And Fabius would just be like, well, he'd basically be like, practicality overlooks any day. So the two of them would just not like each other. It's like two of these two great artists trying to like compare and contrast one another's artwork, and also being incredibly catty about it the whole time. They would quite literally just be like, quite literally sniping at each other like a pair of catty bitches. I think, though, like I said, Fabius, his biggest thing, Bile's biggest thing would be, you're claiming to be like some, savior of your so-called mutant kind, and, creating like all these different forms of life, when in reality, you're just kind of, copying, pasting your work so many times. You see, whereas Fabius would go, where I, on the other hand, am trying to, learn from my mistakes. You just keep repeating them. Sinister's whole thing would be, you're just I'm copying someone's work. What about you? You're basically stealing stuff from that call guy, as well as, stealing DNA from all these different so-called gene seeds, and you're just making uglier versions of a sad copy. And he's like, tell that to my Fulgrim clone I made, a clone of my Primarch father, and see how good that is. And I think Sinister would be like, nah, not good. Like I said, it would just be like two artists comparing and contrasting one. It would just be two artists like comparing and contrasting one another, and basically like just kind of not, they would just be catty the whole time. That's how I just kind of see this conversation going, because I feel like, again, Fabius would not respect in any way, shape, or form whatever Sinister is trying to make, because in his eyes, he's just like, you're just trying to put your stamp on this. And Fabius would like try to lie to himself, saying like, I'm doing it for the betterment of the universe, a universe where no gods or anything like that. And Sinister would be like, oh please, like you wouldn't want to be worshipped for your work, right? So yeah, kind of a small video, but it was just kind of on my mind because I was like, how much fun would it be to see Bile and Sinister, arguably the two. I think the other thing too is that Bile is kind of run by a certain kind of logic, and I think like he would look at the clone Sinister makes and be like, "Where's the logic here? Like, what is the plan? Like, what exactly is the plan? What's the end goal for you, Essex? Because I'm not seeing it." So yeah. Anyway, but you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you think it would be like if Fabius Bile met Mr. Sinister? Do you think they'd get along? Absolutely not. But what do you think they would be like? Just comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.